little bit of a start today. I like to get going earlier in the morning than this, but as I mentioned last time around, I had some stuff I had to take care of this morning. So here we are now. Number one, had to restock the fridge. Very important that we keep diet soda on hand, because I'm fat and I only drink diet soda. I only drink that when I'm down here in the garage. Most of the time, it's just water. It's better for you, folks. Water is better for you. It just is. All right, so today we're going to work on the Suzuki Volusia 800. Pull the carburetor out. I've got a rebuild kit for it. Go ahead and rebuild the carburetor. Off camera, I went through a few things on the bike. Found a few other issues that when we button everything up, I will address them there. Basically, some fuel lines and vacuum lines that should have been clamped up and tidied up a little more that were not. And, well, that's something that really can't get into until you actually put the bike back together. So that is when we will address that. Let me get some coffee going here. I didn't quite get enough this morning. Just like I said, we had to run out the door and take care of some business. So we got a late start today, which means I'll be working later into the evening. But we have got to get this machine done because probably about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, I have got another bike coming in. There was supposed to be a third this weekend, and I don't know. I have not heard from the gentleman who wants it done. And there's a fourth that it'll be coming, possibly. It's a bike I'm very familiar with. I owned one years ago, and they're somewhat reliable, but this one's been rode hard and put wet, kind of like that Suzuki that y'all seen, the red and white Suzuki. It needs a lot of love, and I quoted the best price I could. It's a younger gentleman, and he wants to get into riding, and I'm trying to help him, but that bike needs a lot of work. I gave him a good price on it. And he's got to scrape up the money. I don't know him that well. And put it this way, I do a lot of charity work when it comes to motorcycles and stuff. And I'd really like to help people, but this takes up a lot of my time, and I got to make a few dollars too. So let me get this one out of here, hopefully this weekend. Coffee started brewing. That where it's got to go. Let's get some music fired up in the background. You guys that don't know, the music I've been playing in the background is with the whole monetizing and stuff becomes a bugger, copyright issues. I've found a couple of really cool AI music channels on YouTube. Ambient Pulse is one of them. It's kind of like elevator music type stuff, but it's kind of like acid rock, psychedelic elevator music. It's actually pretty cool, man. I dig it. And I don't get jammed up with copyright stuff by using it. So I really like to have music playing in the background when I'm working. And why is this not doing TV stuff? Okay. Wi-Fi's been sucking up here. Where I live up on a hill, dude, we have some crazy winds, and it's a bugger. When you get winds and storms, the Wi-Fi sucks. It just does. It is what it is. We have calm weather. The Wi-Fi is freaking awesome here. It's quick. It does everything I want it to do. Give me a second to. Come on. All right, what are we into? Desert Rock Mix, Desert Rock Trip, 70s Psychedelic Desert Rock. Hitting on a guitar. This one's pretty cool, man. Thanks, man. Dude, Dr. Squatch beard oil. If you want your beard to go straight, you wash your face with shampoo, of course. When you get out the shower, rub in some Dr. Squatch beard oil, take a brush and a hair dryer, blow dry it as you brush down, and it'll straighten up real nice. Let's get this here survey. Cool. Oh, that's a little too loud. All right, let's get started. First things first, carburetor on this bike has to come off. And it's kind of buried in there a little bit, which sucks, bad. This is one of the main reasons why I personally have switched things up as far as what I ride to Harley Davidson motorcycles. I love me some metrics. Don't get me wrong, metric bikes are reliable. I've owned enough of them. You watch my stuff. I've road fixed, sold metric bikes for many, many moons. And I got more into the Harley Davidson stuff, and I kind of see why a lot of your old heads talk about Harley's the only way to go. Every machine out there is at some point going to have some sort of an issue. They just are. And you got a metric bike that has an issue. My God, do they suck to work on. Let's see here. I need to plug this fuel line with something so it doesn't drip, because it already has stunk up my garage pretty good. Put a bolt in here to kind of keep that from happening. Wipe that up right quick. See, I'm going to move the whole machine that way, and then I will get you guys over here so you can see what I'm doing. The problem with this is, and mind you, the Honda 750 Shadow, all right, their carburetor is a little easier to get to. The 1100 Shadows with the twin carbs, they're like this, and it's a total pain in the ass. But instead of having the carburetor hanging off the side of the engine, they've got them kind of buried down in between the cylinders. This particular model is not as bad. There's only one carburetor. But if you watch the channel, the last Suzuki I messed with was a dual carb setup. And one was on the front of one cylinder, one was on the back of the other. No, excuse me. One was on the rear of one cylinder, the other on the rear of the other. And it just was a nightmare. So. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, but at the same time, I have to get this done. So if you can't see everything real good, I'm sorry. There's not a lot I can do about it. I like making videos for you guys. It's also important that I finish the work that I'm getting paid to do. So is that. All right. Let me get up in here with my face so as I can see exactly what I'm doing. I think I may want to put this bike up on a lift for this. We definitely got to unbolt throttle cable. And my goodness, this choke cable is going to be a bugger too. It is going to have to come off. And I'd rather take it off the motorcycle and allow it to be attached to the carburetor still. And I did see the clamp screw last time I was in here. That's just going to be a bugger to get to. That's going to require light. All right, so first things first, these got to come off. Get them out of the way. Choke cable, we got to get it unbolted. And we're going to have to adjust this up here as well as down there. So that looks to be about a 12 millimeter wrench. That'll be the first thing I need. So, 12 and a 10. Okay, that's a 10. I'm hoping I can do this without. So really don't want to mess with the cables up there if I don't have to. I'm going to have to readjust everything. Yeah, see, like this one, you can see down in there how that's threaded. The adjustment should be taken up here, not down here. And this is a push-pull system. When you pull this way, pull the carburetor. When you roll it off, this cable literally pushes to roll it off. But we're going to have to readjust everything because the way they've kind of done it, you kind of want to split the adjustment between the two. Okay, and they kind of didn't do that here. They more or less had put some adjustment down here. Somebody has been into this machine before me. Okay, got that done. I'm going to do one more thing too while I'm thinking about it. See that the battery is just a tickle low on this machine, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a battery charger on it while I'm working on it, just on trickle. And give that battery a little bit of life. I don't need a new battery charger, dude, but these new ones, they suck. They're all computerized and goofy, and I don't know. I don't like them. I have this old one, and literally one of the electrodes has let go, so I kind of do this Mickey Mouse shit where I use another clip to secure it, but it does the job. And it does it very well, actually. Okay, we're going to go with just a 2 amp trickle charge on this guy here, because it did have enough battery to start the machine, but it was also barely enough to start the machine. Tuck the fuel line up here to kind of hold it. There we go. Got the needle nose. I really do want to put this up on the lift. Alright, let's try it without it first. I'll have it up in my face a little more if it's on the lift. Make my life a little easier, but at the same time, it's going to be tough to strap down. Okay. Choke cable loose from its bracket. Oh, there's that, huh? Alright. Back this nut off all the way. Pull this out. It should pop out. There we go. Stoke that nut back on so we don't lose it. Cut that. Put another zip tie on it. I couldn't do that again for $100. All right. Nose. One throttle. Oh, almost had it, huh? There's one. Of course, the other one's buried. I need a longer needle nose for that. Okay. Okay, this vacuum line's got to come off. I have a feeling it's going to fight because the other one's fought. It wasn't too bad. One more and it goes all the way back here. I am going to pop that one off at the actual carburetor, but I'm going to lift it up and out before I do that. All right, I need a light at this point so that I can get down in there, see what I'm doing, to find the screw on the clamp. Oh, good night, it's buried. You dirty mother, you. Oh, for real, man, this is why places don't want to work on these bikes and why they charge you an arm and a leg. Catch up on the top up there. And back here. Take a long handle Phillips. Yeah, that vacuum line's right in the way of it. We have got to clean some glasses here. I can't see crap out of these, man. How many we got in there? 4 y'all. What's up? Should have done that before I come down here. There we go. That's better. Now I can see what I'm doing. Way better. All right. You're going to need a long-ish handled Phillips head. Definitely not you or you. I probably have one out that'll fit. We'll try you. You might be a little too big. Oh man, I'm kind of doing this, but I feel that kind of sucks. Where's that light? Okay. That should be enough to wiggle her loose. Let's see what we got. Okay. If I can get to it, I would like to take the fuel line off the carburetor first. Let me find something to shove into it and plug it up. Got the bolt on the bin here. As I drop everything on the floor. That should work. I will need a flat-bladed screwdriver for that. I have the fuel line taken off over here. The fuel line goes back into this block, and then a line from that block goes here. Why they do this, I don't know. Why couldn't you just put a line from the tank to the carb? But modern bikes do goofy shit like this. Booking.com has all kinds of states. It's got like 2 vacuum systems to control the fuel flow. Find exactly what you're looking for. But I digress. Okay. I'll just shove a bolt in here like this. And then I'll give it a little turn of the screwdriver, and that should keep gasoline from spilling all over my dang on floor. Okay. Okay, there's a choke cable. Undone that tab and bring the choke cable up with us. Have to cut another. Maybe making sure that that choke cable didn't do non-choke cable things. That's for sure. Ah, see, missed. Okay. strip cable fed up through. They put it under the, okay. So Suzuki did. I guess they had a reason for doing it, albeit I don't understand their reasoning, but apparently they had one. What we got here? Okay, we have a clippy clip that needs to come off. Really like to have you out of my way. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Maybe just off to the side like that. Loosen this screw some more because the clamp is still holding tight. I need a light so that I can see what the hell I'm doing. That's pretty daggone loose. That should allow that to come out now. There we go. Alrighty. Gently. Faster, slower, but more gentle. Gently as we pour fuel everywhere. Okay. There's your main vacuum port to that block, and that goes right to the intake. Okay. One Suzuki Volusia Carburetor. Interesting, fun little fact. This is it's a Mikuni. Okay. Interesting way that they do this. Yeah, someone's been in there for sure. What have we got there? Someone's definitely been in there. Yeah, they just mess with some stuff. I'm not liking some of the things that I'm seeing, but okay, let's get her over to the bench. Get started. Hey, come here. Come here. Let me show you something. Come here. All right. What's up, Scott Baker? All right, let's get some light on the subject. Nice. Yeah. It ain't Black Rifle, it's Maxwell House, but still pretty good. Since I'm behind times here, trying to make up some time today, instead of grinding beans, we used what we had, and that's Maxwell House. All right, look. I deal with a shit ton of these, okay? Now, even on your Harley Davidson, you're going to have a keying carburetor. Unless it's aftermarket. Now, we're talking Sportsters. Twin cams all the way up to 07. Some of them were carbureted. And that'll be a Keihin CV40. Although they call it a Harley Davidson CV40, I promise you it's made by Keihin and it's got a Harley badge. The screws on these are not, repeat, they are not a Phillips head screw. They are a JIS, known as a Japanese industrial screw. Please do not use a Phillips head, round them out, and bring it to me and say, fix it. Because I will charge you double. Can I? Yes. I can extract a screw out of something like nobody's business, but it is an utter pain in my ass. So, if you're going to fool with one of these, do us both a favor. Go on a Jungle website or Evil Bay or anywhere and at least get a set of, I don't know if you can read that, JIS. At least get a set of screwdriver bits. You're going to make both our lives a lot easier. Okay. Well, we're leaking fuel around the fuel bowl. That I could easily see. It also looks like we were leaking it from the accelerator pump, which is interesting. Okay, this bike's got a pump shot. It's your accelerator pump right here. Choke cable, yeah. And when you whack the throttle, see how that pushes down? Whack, whack, whack. Okay, that shoots fuel up into here. Follow this line from here up into this little trigger. There should be fuel in the carb. You should see a fine spray of fuel when I whack it like that. You don't. Inside here will be a little O-ring. It is probably shot. And then it appears to me the float bowl drain screw appears to be missing. I think that's the drain. Pretty sure that's the drain. Find out in a minute when I take this apart. You can already see some of these screws are boogered up. Okay, that is where you absolutely need these. You will not booger up your screws. Stuff will come apart properly. I promise you, this is the way to go. Let me grab the rebuild kit. Hopefully they sent me the right one. Okay, kind of cool. Usually it just comes in a chintzy, shitty little bag. Ah, it just dropped my thing everywhere. That's great. And I'll have to clean that up. Damn it. Pardon me, folks. What I get for not having a good storage system for extra nuts and bolts. Right on in. Yeah, normally you just have a little bag. This, it's damaged because the damn driver just threw this. I watched him do it. Looking at Amazon. Came with new screws. Hopefully, you know, that's popped open. Okay, everything inside is in bags. Good. Now that I see that, let me go ahead, fish that package back out of garbage. Okay. Had to make sure nothing was in the actual package that came in that I threw away. Let's take a look at what our kit comes with. Float bowl O-ring, new screws for the top. Man, guy. I don't know if I got a screw that's going to fit that for you there, buddy. I might have to go find one. That's going to suck. Time is money, and that will require me to take a trip across town. Okay, problem number 2. You do not need to make these this tight at all. Okay, they should only be snug. And that's why this one's boogered up. Do not over tighten these. Okay, we got it. Okay. Conditioning circuit. I'm just going to crack a couple of them loose because we're going to get in here and check something in the top. And if it's good to go, we're going to go ahead and put it directly back together. Now, there's a diaphragm and there's a spring underneath here. So when you're taking these screws out, see how I got my fingers here? At least one finger on the top, because every setup is different depending on how they want the machine to accelerate when you whack the throttle. Okay. Sometimes that spring is a little tougher. Sometimes it's a little weaker. But the tougher ones can send us flying. So keep your fingers, keep your fingers on it. Otherwise, you're going to chase this across the shop. And you can see the diaphragm's in pretty good shape. But I don't know if you guys can see this little teeny tiny O-ring there. That is starting to flatten out. We didn't come with one. Nope. Okay. And we're going to use it. It's still somewhat usable. The diaphragm's in pretty good shape, though. I like to see that. Real gently break the seal. Okay. This kit did not come with a new diaphragm. You got to be careful with it. And I'm not seeing any crazy wear. Person was probably pretty diligent on changing the air cleaner. It is a brand new air cleaner, so that's really good to see. The body looks pretty clean. Everything seems to look okay down in here. Let's get into the bowl. See what it looks like in there. Yep, that's what I expected to see. Okay, look right here. You see how this is flat? That shouldn't be flat, okay? This is kind of like, you look at that and that looks like an okay gasket, right? If you do this all the time, you'll understand me here. See, it's definitely flat, okay? This is what your gasket should look like. See how it's kind of rounded? It's still somewhat flat, but you see how you have like a round edge, okay? This side will go down, this little round edge, and it'll get smashed in there, okay? This is just from years and years of being in there. And if you look all the way around it, let me grab a little pick. I'm going to need one anyway. Okay, I'll point this out to you. You see the little, if I get it under the light, you might see it better. See that little distortion all around it, that kind of gooberness? That's where fuel was leaking out. So that was his entire leak problem. We did come with a new needle. And I'm looking at this needle. This looks okay. This can be cleaned up. And it doesn't really need to be replaced. Okay, I need a wrench to get up into here. Man, my Wi-Fi is being some... Where am I located? but I am like 23 to 30 minutes southeast of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So if you can get your bike, the town is actually Port View to be exact. It's a suburb of the city of McKeesport. If you can get your bike to me, bud, I'll work on it. I do not transport. You got to bring your stuff to me, buddy. But I can and will fix anything with an engine. Some of the older Harley Davidson, we're talking shovel hand head gears. I'm not going to say I cannot fix them. I'm going to tell you I do not have some of the specialty tools required to make those do what they're supposed to do. Okay, this is all your accelerator pump is. This little plunger, see that? Gets shoved down into this little hole. Shoots fuel up through. Okay, it's clear. We're not going to worry about spraying it out. But as you can see, okay, see how swollen up that O-ring is? It's no good. We're going to change that out with the one supplied in the kit. There you go. That was part of the problem. Ethanol-based fuel does this. I can see this. I don't know if you guys can, but it's beginning to deteriorate, and it's also misshapen. Okay, this is the primary jet, and that's suspect. If you watch my last live, when I attempted to rev the engine, We had nothing on a quarter throttle. We had a intake backflow. That's not timing. That's a very, very lean intake circuit. So I suspect you may be plugged, and I have one of you. So let's grab a little screwdriver. Please come out for me. Please. Okay. And it ran just fine on wide open throttle. Wide open quarter, idle to quarter throttle. That's going to run. This is what's going to pull fuel. That's your primary circuit. Okay. That's where this bike was running shitty. Although, I'm looking at a jet that is not plugged at all. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see broad daylight through it. Interesting. All right, let's give her a little snort. Some carb cleaner down in that hole and see what we got. Let's do one more thing before we get to that, because I'm probably going to take it over to the compressor and hit it with some compressed air. I want to take out my, oh, well, there's you in the way. I'd like to replace this needle valve, and they didn't make it easy to do. Okay, turn needle nose. Okay. Yep. Be better if I could see out of this. Hopefully you guys out there in YouTube land can see that. I don't know if you can or not, right? There is a little wear. Now, the kit did come with one. We're going to go ahead and replace it. And what this is, if you know your carbs, you know what I'm doing. This is your floats. When the fuel level rises where it needs to be, it shuts this, pushes this up, which shoves this little rubber needle into the seat, stopping fuel flow. We're going to install a new one. And we're going to take this quick, like, shove a little bit of Carburetor cleaner down the primary circuit, see if it flows out. I do enough of these that I should invest in a ultrasonic cleaner. But I digress. That's one more tool that I don't have that I'd like to have. Yeah, that's leaking right through. Okay. Watch up here when I do this. See that? See it getting out in there? Okay. That's telling me that passageway is clear. Let me go hit it with some compressed air real quick. Okay. Now, I think we would maybe like to install the shiny new primary jet, but kind of need to verify the size. Okay. This is a stock bike, and in general, your jetting form, they go in stages. It's freaking retarded. Stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Old school people go by the numbers on the actual jet. Well, I'm pretty sure I read this was a 35. It's tiny. You need a magnifying glass to see it. Okay, that's a 35. This is 27.5. This is a fatter primary. Okay. The bike is bone stock. I'm going to go ahead and use the original factory jetting, and then we'll tune it out. We'll tune it a little bit richer on the idle circuit instead. I kind of do want to put this in. That's going to cure that lean pop instantly. And it's not that big of a step, but this would be more along the lines if you were going to put aftermarket pipes on your bike. Okay, you put this on. This is fatter. In other words, the hole in the middle is bigger. It's going to allow more fuel flow through it. But we're not changing the amount of fuel and air that goes into the engine. I got to really think about this. So I kind of do want to put the fatter one in it, but let's not. This has a stock air cleaner. It's a completely stock bike. I feel like we can bump up the... All right, another important thing. When you put these jets in, grip your screwdriver with 2 fingers only. Like that. That's all the tighter they need to be. Please. For my sake. Because you're going to bring it to me when you strip it. Go fix it, buddy. Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys can see this as well, but this is the new one. This is what it's replacing. Okay. This one is not that bad. I have seen 10 times worse that still ran. But if I hold it up against the whiteboard and spin it, I can just barely make out. Look, I'll tip my... By the way, I grow my fingernails long for a reason. And you got to get down into something and pick something loose, you know. Open a pack of cigarettes. But yeah, there is a little wear ridge right there. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. It's not bad, but we have it. Let's replace it. I would replace that jet as well. I just don't like the fact that it is a fatter jet than what came out of the bike. That's going to change the tune. I don't necessarily want to change the tune. This came with a new needle seat as well. I really don't think we need to change that. Let's see. Let's pull it out, see what the O-ring looks on it. The O-ring may need changed. Because that right there would cause the fuel overflow issue that we have. Yeah. Yeah, that seal's not in too good a shape. Good deal. I'm gonna give this a shot with some carb cleaner. All right, you see this little white man? Hold on, let me grab a light and show you this. Okay. You see this white chalky shit on my fingers? That's what happens with ethanol fuel. That's exactly what happens. This is literally aluminum rust, basically. Causes the aluminum to oxide, and basically it's rust. It breaks down the aluminum. But aluminum doesn't rust like steel. Builds up a coating of oxide, which is what you're seeing. And that's, I think, what caused some of the issues with this here particular motorcycle. This flipping screw is so tiny. Dang it. Okay. Sorry, folks. It's tough to narrate and do this at the same time. There's some tedious little tiny parts. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Prime example. This is sat out and dried a little. You see that schmutz? Okay, that right there. That's your residue basically from ethanol gasoline. Get down in here with the pick. Just pull this gently out. Okay. See what you got? That's not dirt, man. That is literally this modern gasoline. This is what it does to aluminum. If you don't run stable in your gas tank, this is what you get. And look down in here. You see all this futz? That's not dirt from your gas. It's not shit that accumulated. That's what modern gasoline does. Okay? It's bad juju. It really is. You can stop a lot of it by using stable. Please use it. Fuel stabilizer, every tank. See, I think I got a wire brush here. I'm gonna use it. I want to clean that out of there a little better than it is. No. Dang it. I had one handy. Of course, when I need it, I don't have it. So I'm going to take this wire wheel over to the compressor and blow the shit off of it. We'll just use this wire wheel. Since I don't know where the wire brush is by the time I try to find it. All right, let's replace this gasket. I need another cup of bust ass brew here. Get myself all wound up. Caffeine's fucking great. All right, look. When you put the gasket back in here, here's what I want you to do. This we already know. This is poop. We compared it to the new one. You can see it's smashed flat. Okay, should be wrong. Move the carb body out of the way gently. And let's gently lay this in place. Make sure it is the correct one. It is. It fits. Okay. Prior to installing this, you don't have to do this. I need to move closer. This is something I do. I swear by it. And it's never done me wrong. I take a little grease. There's two reasons for doing this, and I'll explain to you why. I take a little grease and just kind of lay it in this trough where the gasket rides. You don't need a lot. A little goes a very long way. And it's going to get pressed around in there by the gasket. You want to avoid this piece right here. Don't get grease down inside that. You're not going to be happy if you do. Just in a few spots, because like I said, it's going to get smashed around when the gasket gets pressed in place. Okay, number one, you don't use silicone on this. You don't want to use silicone on something like this, okay? You don't need silicone on something like this. That gasket is designed to seal just on its own. What this grease is doing for you, I need a clean pick and kind of spread it around. What this grease is going to do for you is two things, okay? It is going to help make that gasket stick for you when you turn this upside down to assemble the carb, okay? It's just enough tackiness to hold your gasket in place. And number two, if and when, because at some point, it's carbureted, modern gas sucks. This is why there's guys like me around. You're going to have to do this again at some point. Okay, that little bit of grease will allow this to come apart much easier next time. It doesn't help it seal, nothing like that. That is not why we put grease on here. And just take the excess and kind of just wipe it along. Very thinnest, tiniest little coating. Okay. If the grease does get into the fuel system, it's just going to mix with the gasoline and get burned. You may see a tiny touch of smoke initially from it, but nothing to write home about. Okay. You guys follow me with this? All right, so we've insured. Anybody new watching this, let me fill you in on what's going on. This motorcycle was pouring gas out of the carb. We couldn't tell where. I could see it was leaking on the float. But at a certain point, it should have stopped. If the engine was running, it was leaking fuel. Now, this particular motorcycle has a vacuum-operated petcock, okay? And essentially, when the engine's running, the gas is on. The engine is not running. There's no vacuum to the petcock, no gas. So it was only leaking when it was running, which if it's running, fuel on, we could have possibly, it's tucked in there so tight, it was hard to see. We could have possibly had an issue with the needle and seat. The needle, I have seen way worse not leak, but I did replace it, okay? This is the seat. Now here's the devil. This O-ring around the seat was not in great shape. That could have been leaking. And as you can see right here, see the crust on this screen? See that flying? That's going to hinder the amount of fuel that gets into the carb. We replaced that screen as well. We did not replace the jets. We did verify that they are clear, but the jets that came in this kit are fatter, meaning they are richer jets. I'm still kind of going back and forth as to whether I want to use it before I button this up. Part of me wants to put that fatter jet in the primary. It's not that much of a step up. I have to ponder this for a second. This is a 27.5 and then it's a 35, so it's just a little bit larger. Like, I'd like to put the fatter jet in and then pull the baffles out of this exhaust system, and this bike would run way better, but it's not my machine. And even the gentleman who brought it to me to be fixed, it's not his machine either. He had sold it to someone, and issues with the carburetor. Guy's like, well, dude, this is no good, man. This ain't gonna work. So it came to me to be fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and run it with this jet. I guarantee my work, man. So if she's not happy, with that jet, I will take it back apart and put the fatter jet in. But I don't think we're going to have that issue. This kit came with new screws. I'm going to go ahead and use them. Because the old screws, number one, there's no lock washers. And we can see that somebody's boogered this one up pretty good. So let's go ahead and put new screws in it. And I like the fact that these ones have lock washers. I'm going to do another thing that's going to help this bike in the long run. Okay, the accelerator pump right here. This is a limiter. Watch as I work the throttle. See that? Shoves it down. That screw limits how far it can go. I'm going to give it another eighth of a turn like that. Back the limiter out means the accelerator pump can now be shoved a little further down. We didn't go crazy. We just went with an eighth of a turn. That's it. That's all. It's a tiny little bit more of a fuel shot. And I feel like that's gonna make her a whole lot happier. I really do. All right, we inspected the diaphragm, found it to be in good shape. This did come with new screws. These ones, they look okay, but you know what? It came with new ones. Let's go ahead and use them. Why not? Once again, thoroughly inspect this. One thing I do like about this is a very nice, thick diaphragm. These things are usually paper thin. This is not. And I'm used to dealing with key and CV carbs. This is a Mikunian. I like this. This diaphragm it's much more stout than what you will find in most Kenyans. So I'm liking it. Oh, you know what? While we got this out, let's go ahead and clean this needle up. It's got that schmutz on it too. Take a little bit of Scotch-Brite to it real quick. Give it a little shot. You kind of want to be a little careful with this diaphragm. You really don't want carbon choke cleaner on it. You just don't, okay? It can deteriorate the rubber and do bad things. And I don't have one of these. And I don't want this gentleman to have to wait even longer for his motorcycle while a new one gets shipped to me. Okay, this, you want more than 2 fingers, but you don't want to break it off. You don't have to. Just doot, doot, like that. A little bit of snugness, that's all you really need. All right, that's about all there is to it. We replaced a couple of seals that needed replaced. We ensured that everything was clean. We gave it just a tickle more pump shot from the accelerator pump. I'd say we're going to have a functioning carburetor. Check one more thing. See where we're at with this. Easy. Yep. How we look. How's this diaphragm looking? Not great. Not great, but serviceable. It's been in there 20 years. No tears in it. We're going to call it good. Essentially what this is, when you pull on your choke, okay, you're opening a passage here. Means you're allowing that vacuum to get drawn from here, putting vacuum to this. Okay, this little diaphragm sucks open and allows extra fuel down here in the float to come up through here for your choke. Cool system. Still like the old school cover it up like that, or like what's on a S&S, just in the enriching circuit. This is a very Rube Goldberg system, but it's worked for a long time. Folks use them. Let's check one more thing. This little drain plug here. Let's pull it out. Look at it. Ensure that it's doing drain plug things. Look at that. Okay. I'm gonna do one more thing. Oh, I need a thinner screwdriver. I'm gonna give this a skosh more fuel at idle before I even put the carburetor back in the bike. These are always lean from the factory. Not much. Just a skosh. All right, we absolutely should be good to go. Okay, it's break time before we reinstall this. What's up, BMX Austin? Okay, it is break time for a couple of minutes here. My back hurts. So, I'm going to just chill out in the chair for a few minutes. Carburetor should be good to go. I'll answer any questions you guys have. Want to fire me up a cigarette, have me a cup of coffee and enjoy it for a few minutes, and then we'll get right back onto it, put the carburetor back in the bike, and see what we've got. All right. Oh, man. Hey, what's up, man? From Missouri, my man Jimmy B. All right, I'm just taking a little siesta for a couple minutes here, dude. My back hurts a little bit. Rainy day, man. If you ever broke your back, you'd know what I'm talking about. Went from warm and sunny up here to cold and rainy. It sucks. Arthritis is kicking in. All right, so what we got here, folks are just tuning in. It's 2002 Suzuki Volusia 800. And it was very unhappy. It only wanted to start on starting fluid. The gentleman wrote it here, but it only really ran on choke, and it really didn't run good. So I fired it up on starting fluid, got it running. Found that on the primary circuit, it was very unhappy. It was backfiring through the carb. Not necessarily a backfire, but what we would call a lean. All right. And it was pouring fuel out of it from somewhere. It's a little tough to see where the fuel was coming from. But if you watch, earlier in the video, this will get posted when I actually open up the carburetor. The gasket on the float bowl was pretty rough, pretty bad shape. So we replaced that. We verified that all the jets were clear. Now, the kit that I got, the rebuild kit, came with a richer primary jet, a 0.35, and the bike had a .275 in it. Part of me really wanted to put that in, but this bike has factory exhaust and a factory air cleaner. Um, man, the dude just wants the bike fixed. Were it my bike, I would punch the baffles out of this thing, put a high flow air filter in it, and I'd put them fatter jets in, and she'd run like nobody's business. But the gentleman just wants his bike to run properly. As far as a tune, we gave it just a skosh, maybe an eighth turn richer on the primary idle circuit, and we gave it just a skosh, maybe an eighth turn richer on the pump shot from the accelerator pump. These bikes come lean from the factory. They do that because they have to pass emissions. Richen it up a little, it's going to run cooler in traffic. It's going to run better, especially when you whack the throttle. But I didn't change it enough to drastically change the tune. The carburetor does the thinking for an engine. A fuel-injected bike, a modern fuel-injected bike. The early Harleys were a open loop, what do they call it? Open loop system, whatever. They're set up to put a certain amount of fuel in at a certain time. That's it. Whereas a carburetor, you do the thinking for it. You tell it how much fuel you want it to put in and where you want it to come in. And that's something through trial and error. The problem with these buggers is the carburetors are absolutely buried in the bike. It's quite a bit. You almost have to pull them out of the bike just to adjust the air idle mixture. It sucks. It is what it is, though. That's why there's folks like me that fight with this kind of shit to make these old things run. So, just let my back chill out, finish this smoke here, and I'll get back to it. We'll get this carburetor back in the bike, get her buttoned up. I've had the battery on charge. She should fire up and run good, though. I'm hoping. I think it's time for some new coffee cups. I got my snowman cup down here, and it's 2nd of May, huh? I don't wash my coffee cups, dude. I just rinse them out. It adds to the flavor. It's good for you. A little brake clean in it and stuff. It lubes the joints up. Right on. Yeah, dude, I just needed to take a break. My back's hurting today. Like I said, warm and sunny to cold and rainy plays hell on the arthritis, dude. All right, let's get the carburetor back in this machine. Get you guys flipped around so you can see what I'm doing. Right about there. Don't mind me, I'm just looking at everything. One more thing before we get started on that, and that's going to be back over here. Grab a little something we are going to use to make our life a little easier. And once again, with the grease, not a lot. We're just going to swipe a little grease around here to make sure the carburetor slides down into the boot easier. We don't want it cheesed, we just want the thinnest little minute coating of grease. That's too much. Like this. And like I said, if this gets sucked into the engine, it'll just burn off. It'll smoke a little on startup, but it won't be nothing crazy. And that'll just make it easier to actually seat the carburetor into the boot. They don't make it easy to get it in. Okay. Got it. Yeah, buggered and adjusted. Oh, that will suck. Adjust that inside there. Phillips head for the clamp. Man, I can't see what the devil I'm doing in here. This would use this head-mounted flashlight the way it was designed to be used on your freaking head. That might help, huh? Almost got to do this by feel, dude. It kind of sucks. Frustrating. Annoying, frustrating work. I hate annoying, frustrating work. But you absolutely have to have this clamp tight. You absolutely have to have a good seal here. This whole flipping system works on vacuum. And if you have a vacuum leak here, you're not going to have a good time. Okay, I can't really move the carburetor. Yeah, I need to get a little tickle tighter. Doesn't help that somebody has lowered this clamp up a little bit. Or that I can barely see the actual screw. Okay. All right. That's good to go. All right. Plug this back in. This goes over here. This was not hooked up when I took the bike apart. That's part of your problem. What this fell, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Something fell down over here. Sure, but it shouldn't have. That's the air cleaner clamp. Not a big deal. Okay. Need the clamp for the air cleaner boot. That should be right here. I'm going to use a better screwdriver bit for it. Let's get that in here. I really want this to be tighter than it is. Try it with a better bit. There you go. That's better. JIS, man. Breaking my own rule of thumb. I didn't think the clamps would be JIS screws, but they are. I put my other screwdriver in there and you'll see it. Pretty important that you get this down over all the way good. Where do I want this? I don't want this on there like that. I want it flipped. I'll reach it better. Like I said, these things work off vacuum, dude. Completely off vacuum, and it's really imperative that you have all your seals, all your boots, everything has to be on there good and tight. It does. You can't half-ass this. You can't say, oh, it's over there good enough. It has to be seated. It's simply just not going to function correctly. Take your time with stuff like this. Make sure you get these on all the way and seated properly. Okay, that's seated. Now we got a vacuum line over here, and that is imperative that that gets hooked up because the way the system works, there's a block back here that divvies up the vacuum. That has to be on. So initially I found two different mistakes that were made when the carburetor was taken off of this bike. You just got done buffing out the bike and had bug goo all over it. Oh, I feel you, dude. But yeah, as I was saying, initially I found two different mistakes. There was a vacuum line that was not hooked up that absolutely is imperative that it needed to be hooked up. We replaced essentially we didn't fully rebuild the carb as it did not need it. So it still has its factory jets installed, which is fine. But we did, however, verify that they're clear. We did also install a new needle and seat, of which, the old one wasn't bad, but it was enough that I felt like a new one would be in order since we were already into it. See, this is this goofy little spring clamp, and these things kind of suck. But it is imperative, very, very important to get the vacuum line on and get the clamp where it needs to be. Because if you're not getting vacuum to your system, this carburetor is not going to function properly. This is known as a constant velocity carburetor, or a CV carburetor. This is a Mikuni. Most of the time you'll see me working on Kian carburetors. I don't know if I like the Mikuni better. The Kian's a little simpler, but I digress. I'm not a big fan of constant velocity carburetors. Sure, they're fine and they make the engine run smooth and this and that, but They're, they're finicky if something's a little off, like a bad vacuum line or something of that nature. They can be finicky for you. I would rather personally tune a race carburetor like a Mikuni flat slide HSR 42, an S&S Super E, key and round slide. The thing is, carburetors like that really work best wide open running. They're not as nice on a tame street machine like this. So there's that, Oh my goodness, this clamp is going to fight me till the bitter end, isn't it? But it's on, and that is what is important. Okay, back over to this side. Ensure that everything is put correctly over here. Where's the choke cable? Choke cable's over here, which it runs. I have to go under here, under the spark plug. I don't know why they did that, but under here. That clamp to hold it. And we need a zip tie because there's a zip tie to hold that around the frame that we had to cut. Get that replaced. It had like 10 freaking zip ties holding it all in. We're not gonna do all that. It's kind of not necessary, but okay, 14 mil. That was 12. Did I put it back already? I probably put it back already. Pretty sure it's 14. Yeah, it's 14. Or is it? No. Where is it? 17? Yeah, 17. And we're just, at this point, tightening the choke cable up into the bracket. You know what, let's take this back out. That choke cable is not, it's not happy, okay? Doobie. You gotta put a little something down this choke cable, and it's gonna be easier to do if I can hold it up in the air. So let's do that before we go any further, because where this is mounted on the bike, it's out here, and we get water in it and the elements. So if you look here, you can see. Yeah, see that? She's corroded up. Well, let's go ahead and work it, make sure it moves, and let's just give it a little shot of some penetrating oil. Nothing crazy, little PB blaster. And then I'm going to put some cable lube on top of that. Turn the flow way down. We don't need much of this stuff. Little goes a long way. I'd let that work it a little bit. Little bit goes a long way, folks. That's all we needed. There we go.
My secret to luminous skin?
All right, back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfection, so I'm gonna let them understand. There we go. Get that back in there. Tighten this back up like it should be.
The Nissan Armada. Everything worth doing is worth overdoing. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. Nissan Armada, starting just $58,840.
Shopping Ollie's First means saving up to 70% off fancy store prices every day. To demonstrate, we gave shopper A $100 to go shop a fancy store. Said shopper B, come on.
Okay, choke's functioning.
They say the proof is in the card.
Nobody says that.
And yet, I just did the brand new Challenge Run. All up to 70% off. Ollie, that's not cheap.
Of course, I don't have one big enough. How about if we do this with it instead? I think we can make that arrangement work pretty good. There we go. All right. Vacuum line to replace right here. There. Seems like there's an excessive amount of hose on that. That's what it is. Okay. Get the fuel line back on where it goes. Flat blade for that. So do this. Yep. Should have done this before I ran the choke cable. It would have been a little easier, but such is life. There's a big old kink in that fuel line. And that's just not going to work for us, is it? We have to fix that. Another thing, the fuel that's in this bike really don't smell good. Like, but I'm almost going to want to drain your fuel tank for you. Unfortunately, I don't have any fresh fuel to put in it. There we go. Get a little loop in that line, and that'll make it flow better. There we go. That's nice. Get that clamp lined up where I need it to be. Okay. 10 and 12 millimeter. The throttle cable's back where they need to be. We're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting close. Which way we turn? This should be the push cable. Move this real quick and see. Pull cable, push cable. Push cable, yep. Yeah, it might have been easier to do this before I put the boot back on the carburetor, but here we are. It's okay. Nothing we can't work around. Oh my goodness. Don't fight me. Because you'll lose, dude. Come on, baby. Give me a little something here now. Come on. Come on. Close, but as you can see, you cannot get your fingers down in there to make this do what it needs to do. And dang it, I can't even get in there with needle nose. I may have to take the air cleaner boot back off to give me just a little more room. I'd rather not, though. I'd rather just. And this is the bitch. I'm literally doing this by feel because I can't see once my hands are in here. There we go. Got her. Put a finger over that to hold it. There we go. There's one. Now on the throttle side, it can be done a little easier sometimes by doing something like this. All right, turn that way. Oh, no, that's going to be a bitch too, huh? All right, I'm going to push cable forward all the way, which pulls the throttle cable out all the way. And yeah, I'll have to do you by feel too, huh? I see that. Oh, I may have to walk away because I'm getting frustrated. Alright, I got that in the hole started. I just need that cable to wrap down and around without popping that out of the hole the rest of the way. Ah, you devil, dude. You suck. Like, I had it. I totally had it, and then it just decided to pop back out. If I could get this to stay right there, and then with my left hand, maybe get that to go. How much more can it go? There's a flat blade. Put the flat blade right here. Hold that with my left hand. Oh, dang you! You fucking turd. Pardon my language. Man, that's not going to make things any easier, is it? Let's try this. As much as we fought this, I think if we remove our push cable, if it'll even want to come out for me, I don't think it does. If it says I like it in here, I'm not coming apart. You gotta be careful grabbing these things, okay, with needle nose, because you can easily foobar these cables. It don't take much to really bubble them up. Come on, get around the corner. Nope. Yeah, no, that's not being happy with me, is it? All right. I'm gonna have to take the push cable back out like this. Work it back out. There we go. See what's happening when you have the throttle rolled this way. This cable's out all the way. This cable's in all the way. Okay. I can get that one in pretty easily. But when I did this, in order to make it easier to put this cable back in, it pulled this cable in and pushed the other cable back out, which made my life a bitch. So let's do this. Hold that there. Yeah, I'm frustrated with you. I'm very frustrated with you. You son of a bitch. Like, wow, man. We definitely were not thinking about the mechanic who had to take it apart and put it back together when we designed it, were we, Suzuki? Honda is a little better for this kind of thing. It honestly is. And Kawasaki and Suzuki are kind of on par with this kind of little stupidness. We just worry about the design so much that we don't think about what it takes to put together and take apart inevitably when things go wrong. Because it's a machine, and in time, every machine will have issues and need worked on. In general, folks who buy motorcycles like this, let's be honest, in general, they tend to throw them away. Bikes like this run very well and they last a long time, but when they're shot or when they have problems, folks that run bikes like this tend to just trade them in and get a new one. And most shops don't like to work on them because of little stupid shit like this. It makes your life a nightmare. That's like impossible to get that started. Okay. It just wants to fight. Like I said, this is what sets what I do on YouTube apart from a lot of other mechanics. I show you the hard stuff. I show you where I struggled. The other guys will make you a video and they will edit this out and make it look like, oh, it just snaps together nice and easy. I do not do that. I do not believe that. Because then people tear the bike halfway apart, can't fix it, and bring it to someone like me to save the butt. And a lot of times I don't like that either. Because then my life is just harder. Trying to fix someone else's fixings. And I don't like doing that. I'd rather do it myself from the beginning. Where's the long needle move? Let's try this. I can hold it at the right angle of this. Get it fed through the hole properly. There we go. Long needle nose saved the day. I'm going to fight this one again.
There's a lot of science that goes into making sure this helmet
Got it.
protects me. The same is true.
Yeah, that kind of sucked like a lot. But we got it. We got it. You can tell when I'm frustrated with something. I shut up. I try to narrate these videos as I do them, man. But when I get annoyed and I'm just like, get it together. Because, dude, for real, sometimes it's just easier for me to, Alright, we got just enough slop. I don't think we're gonna have to readjust the throttle. I think we're gonna be just fine right there. Alright. So the vacuum lines are in place where they need to be. There's one left for the petcock for the fuel tank of the machine, and there's one over there that we have to reinstall that was kind of not done right from the get-go. And that'll be on the after takeoff. Hey, right on, man. Take her easy, Jimmy B. All right, we got to come to this side, put this all back together. What's your view like? Can you guys see good? No, you can't. All right. Well, I have to pee anyway, so I'm going to have to turn you this way. So you can't see my bathroom, which is the toilet against the wall. Take my mic off so that you... I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. Let's get another shot of coffee real quick. Now, on this particular side here, there was a vacuum line that is really important, and it was not hooked up. We have to rectify that situation. Because we do. Let me grab some Allen keys, because we're going to need them. Rest of the pieces that we're going to need. I'll need that screwdriver. All right, get out of my way. Okay, guys, I appreciate you watching me, but you got to get up over here for a second. Hopefully you can still see it. Like I said, I love making these videos for you guys. Really do, but at the same time, I have to do the job correctly. All right, this is one part that sucks, and this is one of the first things I noticed. This vacuum line here, this is pretty important. It goes into here, and it was not connected from the very beginning. And if you look at it, it's almost impossible to ensure that it connects, right? That's important. You need that on there, okay? So what we're going to do to make our life easier, we're doing double work, but we're making our life easier. Okay, come on around over here, and I'll show you something real quick. We're going to go to the back side. You said back side. See where it connects over here? Right there. That'll be easier to reconnect from that side. We're going to disconnect it from this side so that we have lots of play to pull it forward and connect it to the back side and ensure that the clamp is on. Main thing I noticed with this bike, there were 2 vacuum lines. That one was barely touching and it wasn't clamped. There was another one that was completely not installed properly. If that's the case and it allowed fresh air into the system, that could have been all it took to cause this motorcycle to have such a lean running condition. That could have been your entire get down bad boy boo boo boogie. But at the same time, she was leaking gasoline really bad out of the carburetor. And we showed you why that was. That was simply an old gasket that needed replaced. So let's wiggle waggle this thing off. And it's going to be not fun to get back on. I can see that. As I knock the camera over. All we're doing is just popping it off this side so that we have a little more slack on the other side. I'm going to pull it through the other side. That way, when I hook up the back piece for the air cleaner, I have a little more room to work with, and I can ensure that vacuum line goes on there and gets clamped down tight. Simply, it's just easier to have more room to work. Maybe you have tiny fingers and you can get in there without doing it. Me personally, this is how I'm doing it, because it is pertinent that you have that hooked up. If you don't have that hooked up, you don't get proper vacuum to the system. You don't get a bike that does what it's supposed to do. Like I said, constant velocity carburetor that's on this motorcycle relies completely on vacuum for it to function. Now look, see how much further I can pull that out now? Okay, that's what I wanted. Because it's very important that that line gets hooked up to right here. When the engine's drawing on this, it's drawing vacuum here. It means it's putting vacuum here. It means back here, there's vacuum going into that. Any leak in that is going to cause this carburetor not to function properly. Very important. Get it on properly. Get your needle nose and fight with the clamp. You've got to have the clamp on it. You do. It's not just on there for looks. Long ones for this probably. Sorry you guys can't see what I'm doing here, and I can't do very much about that at the moment. I can see that line go on a little further than that. There we go. All right, work that on there better. You know what? Let's get this pushed up into place. Kind of haphazardly, but I'm going to go around the other side. I'm not going to move you guys. I'm going to go around to the other side and ensure that I have that other vacuum line in place with the clamp on over here. Main reason we just went through this is, as you just saw, you don't have much room on the other side to work. You do have more on this side to work with. So we disconnected it, pulled the slop over that way, just to make our life that much easier, because over here, I can plainly see everything I gotta do. Nice and easy. So I can just pinch this with my needle nose right over top. Pinch the clamp over top. Shitty design, but dude, that's just, man, that's how they design things nowadays. Like I said, they don't ever think about the mechanic that has to get in here and, you know, make it do what it needs to do. And I don't want to hear people's shit about it's a Suzuki, you should never have to work on it. Listen, nothing lasts forever, baby. If it's a machine, at some point it's gonna fail. The choice is to whether you fix it or throw it away when it fails. You watch my videos, you see what I do. I'm a Harley guy. And I believe in a motorcycle should last forever. You should be able to rebuild it and keep riding it and enjoy it. Unless it catches on fire or completely rusts away, man, you should be able to keep rebuilding it and enjoying it. And that's what I love about my Harley Davidson motorcycle. Okay, I'll get off my podium now. But that's kind of the difference. And I am one of the few, like, especially in my area, there's not many shops that are going to fart around with something like this. And they charge you a freaking arm and a leg to do it. I don't roll like that, man. I want to see people enjoying their bikes. I don't care what you ride. I want to see you out there riding it, enjoying it, having the time of your life. So that is why I do what I do. It would have definitely been easier if I put this on first, but I didn't. So here we go. Clamp right there. Get this seated down over top the way it needs to be. Mind you, you got to be a little gentle. You don't want to pop off that vacuum line that you just put on. This, like anything else, this has to be seated flush, flat, all the way. Okay? Remember what I said, you can't have any leaks in this system. Everything's got to be tight, everything's got to be touching, everything has to have a clamp on it. If you want this particular type of carburetor to function properly, everything has to be sealed up. Okay.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
There's another issue. That wasn't quite sealed good. You can see that. So we're going to just smash this together right quick. What we're going to do is we're just going to throw, because this got to go through here. Okay, we're going to take, just like anything else, we'll swipe a grease around it, because you can see where dirt was getting directly into the system. And that's no good. We can't have that. We're going to give it a little swipe with grease, just like we did the carburetor boot, and you know, nothing crazy. Just a little bit like that is going to help it seal, as well as when we push the whole thing together, it's going to allow those plastic pieces, because grease on plastic versus rubber, it's going to allow this to be super slick and just pop right in and go together nice and easy, and that's what we want to see. Somebody here? Sound like a car door outside. Gently, gently. Firmer, gentler, firmer. Okay. Yeah, that one don't want to go. That's the buggered up one. Like some grease will do. Cover. Figure out what size. Don't you fall. I don't want that there anyway. Okay, it's 4mm. It is. Hey, if you like this music, dude, that I'm playing in the background, this is a YouTube channel called Ambient Pulse. I rarely plug anyone else's stuff, but I really dig this. I think this is like hella cool, man. So and I don't get copyright infringements. I'm monetizing and playing this music. That didn't come from there. Don't know if they're the same screw or not. I'll know in a half a second once I have it in my hand here. Nope, the threads are just a tickle longer. That's one from over there. And the color matches. Okay. Getting close, ladies and gents. We're getting close. Alrighty. So, how long have we been live for at this point? What's up, Scott Baker? Alright. 2.5 hours. Go any further, I got to put the gas tank back on this bugger, and that means I have to disconnect the battery that I've had on charge. Well, I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to disconnect the battery that I've had on charge. Because when I get the full of the gas tank, might be a little leaky here and there, and I really don't want sparky spark with leaky leak. Bad deal, you know what I'm saying? So let's get this Mickey Mouse charger up off of here. And hopefully it has done its due diligence. The charger unplugged and out of the way. Plug the battery tender back in on the other bike. Okay. Dude, I'm telling you, I really, really dig this music and I dig this channel. They're super cool, man. Check them out. This is Ambient Pulse. Not often you see a YouTuber plug another YouTuber's channel, but I really dig the music. It's cool. It's cool to have for background noise. Keep the brain functioning like a brain should function. Yeah. So we put the fuel tank back on. We have to put these little guys back in place. These are the little rubber pieces that actually hold the tank in place. They just go right there like that. Fuel line should not necessarily be tucked up here, but I had it tucked up there so that it didn't point downwards and dribble fuel everywhere, because it's gonna. There's that. This dude should really drain this gas out of here and put fresh. I'm not doing that for him. He can do that for himself. Okay. Give me that. That's the only bugger about this music is after a couple of hours it'll pause itself and you get it. There you go. Nope, never mind. Shut that off. I'll get a copyright infringement on that. Back to Ambient Pulse. Try this one. Wish I could have played the other one. That's one of my absolute all-time favorite bands, but you know how that goes. Make sure that we have that in place where it needs to be. It is most definitely not even close. How about this side? Nope. You kind of got to do this by feel. Red Devil. That's better. There's like a little cup and a little rubber thing on the cup's on the inside of the fuel tank. Little rubber thing fills in the cup. You kind of gotta just feel it. You know, you stick your hand under there and feel what you're doing. Okay. Now, can I get the screw in there? Is that we got to hook up underneath there. There's a plug that needs plugged in. We got to get that properly connected before we bolt everything up. So give me a half second. Volusia, huh? Hey man, thanks for spending the afternoon with me here at Phoenix Motorsports. Appreciate you. All 12 of you, man. It means a lot that folks watch my stuff. I'm gonna put this plug in by feel rather than try to show you, because I can feel it. Maybe not. Almost. For a second pair of hands would be nice. Corey, you bastard, what are you doing? You're supposed to be learning to do this shit. 2 leads is just the right one. There we go. We're still in up here. This side, nope. Damn it. I don't like this. Oh, you suck ass. Fucking retarded antennas. Sometimes you gotta fight. Sometimes you gotta fight them. Nope. You rotten devil. There we go. That got it. Okay. Do you believe it was you? Do you believe it was you that went through here? Gotcha. I think you're 14 millimeter. You're definitely not this big ass 17. I just had a 14 out. I put it back. Okay. No, you're not a 14. You're a friggin' 12. I had that out too. Where'd I put the 12? I just had it out to do the daggone throttle cables. Here it is. You know what? Should I, before I bolt that in, yeah, I can get to the fuel line. Fuel line's tucked in there pretty good and it's hard to get to. So before I bolted this down, I wanted to make sure I could reach it and properly connect the fuel line. One more vacuum line to hook up right here. Okay. Need needle nose over there. We'll put our fuel line back on. And get ready to give her a test fire. A couple little things to button up on the bike, but I kind of want to hear the engine run before I completely button it up, just to make sure that we know the issues are fixed. I'm pretty sure they are, though. Pretty damn sure that the issues are fixed, but you never know. And if it's got to come back apart, it's got to come back apart. Everything totaled, I quoted 6 hours on this. So 3 into it, and I got 2 the other day, finishing touches. I may have enough time in the quote to go through this bike for the fella and make sure everything's good. I do this by feel, of course, because you can't see what the hell I'm doing. There it is. Put the fuel line back on. Slugged up all the way. Clamp on. Fuel line. Shit like this, these long needle noses are nice to have. Really don't want to set on the floor, but I just might have to get down on the floor to get this thing where it needs to go. Yep. Yep. All right. Okay. We got a little chrome vanity cover over here to put back on. It literally does nothing but cover up some vacuum lines, but I need to put it on. And it should be a 10. Yep. Okay. Couple little more pieces of hardware to put on. And that'll be for this valance. I guess that's what you call that, nacelle, valance, whatever. Proper freaking terminology is. The thing what holds the speedometer. And that should be 4mm hex key. And where's the hole so they lined it? Of course. The bottom one would be different. You rotten bastard. Okay. Get you put in. Guys, right here, this bike roar. Real close. Real close to hearing it. That's if I did everything right. And if I didn't miss anything. I may have missed something. Is what it is, man. I work on all manner of motorcycles from Amarachi to Zundap. And when I quote you a price on fixing your bike, do it by the hour. And if I tell you it's going to take, say, 6 hours like this, it takes me 10, I still charge you 6.
Old Spice Gentleman's Body Wash, full of vitamin B3.
Wireless can feel like a world of surprises. Don't fall for the trap. Get a fresh start. The ultimate wireless hack. For a limited time, get Visible for just $20 a month for 1 year using code Fresh Start of Visible. Live in the know.
This is so annoying. Check this out. I didn't bend this. Look at this. See where it's bent? It came that way. Pittsburgh Tools. Fucking cheapo bullshit. It's just annoying to get a bolt started with this Allen key. I should throw it the hell away. I should have took it back to Harbor Freights, but whatever. At the time I bought these, I was doing more work on Harley Davidson than I was on metric bikes. So honestly, I really didn't care. I just was missing. Out of my other metric set, this is the one I was missing. I went and bought a whole new set because I was missing the 4mm. And of course, in the brand new set, the 4mm that came with it was absolutely crap and bent. So there's that. And that makes me unhappy. But whatever, man. It is what it is. Cheap as it is. It's my fault for using cheap tools. But tools that I'm going to use all the time, I generally buy good ones. Stuff that I only use once in a while, I buy cheap. Just so I have it. I tend to be getting more metric work nowadays. I've got a metric, actually 2 more metric bikes coming, possibly 3. Waiting on a phone call for the 3rd one. You know what? Let's fire this thing up before I put the seat on it. Get a cigarette here. Get the garage door open. She might need a sniff of the whiff starting fluid. She might not. I mean, that carburetor was completely drained, so I'm going to fill up with fuel a whole lot quicker if the engine fires on starting fluid for a second. Why don't we get you guys back here a little bit. And I think we're going to do just that. We're going to give her just a little sniff. To start with, and ensure that the engine kicks over because the battery's not real solid in this bike. And well, that wasn't part of the pricing. The part of the pricing was fixing the carburetor and the parts involved. So we're not. I have a battery that'll fit it. You bought a bike battery lately, you know they're around $100. That wasn't part of the price, so. Give her a little snip. Full choke. Ignition. Come on, baby. I'm afraid that battery's toast, dude. Carburetor's completely empty as well. It's got a crank to fill the carburetor. Come on, baby. Hold some fuel for me now. The battery ain't got enough juice. It's cranking a bike, but I'm literally watching the dash go in and out. Chargers for shit. All right, we'll put the battery on charge. Let it sit for a minute, try it again. Come on now. Yeah. We got a weak spark because we ain't got enough battery. Let's try it without the box, see if the box is even doing anything. Yep. And the only thing turning it over is this box. And there's not enough juice in the battery to give me a hot spark to fire. Yep. All right. We have got to charge the battery more before this bike's going to run. Damn it. Close the garage back up. These wires straightened out real quick. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm using the clamp from another one. What's up? What we got in here? Hey, what's up, Amy Brannigan? Jump the voltage up a little bit on the charger. And I'll have 3 hours. All right. We can crank her up like that. Let it chill for a little. See exactly what we've got. Because I'm about ready for chilling for a little. Put some tools away. All right. Irregardless of whether we're not getting chilled with the bike, we did throw some starting fluid down the gap, so it should have putt-putted. You're not getting sparked because, well, all your juice is spent up turning the battery over, and that is not a very high quality jump box, and it's on its last legs as far as the charge goes. So let's plug the jump box in too and get it charging. I got the battery. I had it charging on just a low voltage 2 amp charge. I got it cranked up to a 6 amp charge now. Yeah, this is almost dead. So we can give it maybe 20 minutes. If that don't get it, we will back down to a 2 amp charge and let it charge overnight. Or we could just call the dude and say, hey, your carburetor's rebuilt. Everything's put back together proper, but you need a battery. So bring me a battery. We can do that. I don't think he's going to go for that. So now we wait. Waiting game sucks, don't it? In between, you guys want to hear a cool motorcycle start? Battery shot on this one too, man. I don't ride it much. But if we're in the starting motorcycle game, let's see if the old Evo will crank over, make a little noise for us. It might. Just had it running the other day. Yeah. That is my baby. I love that machine. It's the 1995 Harley Davidson FXD Super Glide. That's the forever bike. I did at one point think about selling it, but I want what it's worth, and folks want a low ball. I'll keep it. I don't care. If somebody would approach me with 7,000, give or take, or something cool enough to trade, I'd let her go. But I really don't ride that bike for shit. I mainly ride that bike over there, the Harley Davidson Ultra Classic, fuel injected, stock engine, save for a couple little bulletproofing items. Man, you can instantly hear the difference in the two. This thing is rowdy. She's rowdy. High compression pistons, just a mild cam, S&S Super E carburetor, and a little bit of tuning. She's a rowdy beast. I love that bike. I know, you folks came here to see a Suzuki. Well, yeah, a Suzuki with a dead battery. She's got to turn over fast enough to pull fuel, because it doesn't have an electronic fuel pump. It's got a fuel pump that relies on vacuum to work. Carburetor is completely drained. For it to pull vacuum, it's got to spin fast enough, pull vacuum, then opens the valve from the tank, allows fuel to flow through the valve, fill the carburetor up. This might take a little bit. We did jump up the amperage on the charging. I'll just bullshit to you guys for a little, maybe smoke a cigarette or something, hang out. Give it 15, 20 minutes. If that don't do it, then I guess we're just going to have to basically put the battery on trickle charge for a few hours, come back and try it later. Because everything's handled. The carburetor's put back together. She should fire right up. Is what it is. It's not turning over fast enough. Some machines be like that, man. If you like what I do here, do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, will you? Helps the channel, helps me produce more content for you guys in the form of videos. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna turn you around for just a second, please. My mic over here. You know, I don't got a bathroom. I just got a toilet inside. I'm back. I'm back. See, now it's a waiting game. Sucks. I gotta dance or something for you guys to try to entertain you. We're done turning wrenches. Batteries just for shit in this thing. It is what it is, man. Round 4, 5 o'clock, I got another machine coming in, something you generally will never see me work on. But here's the deal. A few months ago, I had the upstairs bathroom in our house redone. The guy that did it has a sport bike that's not acting right. So we kind of traded some labor for labor. To get his bike running, he cut me a huge break on the labor of redoing the bathroom. So that's how that works. I might have to charge him a couple bucks for parts and a little bit for labor in the form of maybe like I'm gonna need a case of Diet Pepsi and an Italian hoagie or something. But it's kind of not necessarily a freebie on my part. The guy did a lot of work in my bathroom, so I'm helping him out, and that's what we're all about here. If you follow my channel and you've watched the intro video, like if you've subbed and you actually look at the channel, my intro video kind of tells you what we're all about here and what I do here. I fix old motorcycles and I make riding videos. And I do what most shops don't do. I help people. I'm not looking to get rich by doing this. I make these videos, puts a couple bucks in my pocket, and I help people that basically couldn't afford a regular motorcycle shop at $150 an hour. I work between $50 and $75 an hour, depending on how annoying the job is and whether or not I like it. This time of year kind of sucks. I work like 60 hours a week. It's a little difficult for me to do what I do. And unfortunately, this time of year, the weather breaks. Everybody wants their bike fixed, which drives me nuts, man. If you want a better deal as far as my labor prices, bring me your bike in January, February, when you get your tax return. Then I don't have as much work in my garage. I'm only working like 40, 45 hours a week at my day job that time of year. So this time of year, I'm busy. It's tough to fit you in. See what I'm saying? I know I get slammed at my day job. I get slammed here in the garage in the evenings when I do what I do. So kind of makes it tough for everybody. We're going to go another 5-10 minutes. We'll go to like 3:30. That is on a 6 amp boost. It's a little hard on a battery to do that. We'll see what that does. If it fires, if it rolls over fast enough, it just might want to fire. If not, probably going to have to charge it overnight or call the guy and tell him he needs a battery. It is what it is. Sorry. Can't do magic. You know. I got a battery that might fit it here, but I don't think it's going to have a lot of charge to it either. Moderate size. 10 amp. Two. Never mind. This would be entirely too much battery. It's almost beat 2 though. This would try to start it. It's for a different machine. I think we can kill the coffee. I don't need any more of that. I'm going to wash my hands at this point because I believe I'm done turning wrenches for the day. All we've got to do is put 2 covers back on this bike, but there's no 2 covers in the seat. There's no point in doing that if it doesn't fire up and run. If the battery needs replaced, I got to pull those covers in the seat back off. So I got 17 battery chargers, been 15 minutes at high. That's good. Wash up real quick. Been about 20 minutes. Let's give it another try. A lot better on the battery this time. Come on, baby. Show me some love here. Nope. What's our major malfunction here? Gotta have something off kilter. Alright. We're cranking fast enough. It should be firing off. What has you unhappy? Something has you very unhappy. Oh, we gotta figure that out, don't we? Should be pulling starting fluid through the system. Should have got a putter out of you. Something's got you unhappy. Gonna have to dive into this a little further. Probably gonna have to take the seat off of it, or the tank back off it, which I really don't want to do, but we will. I don't like to be defeated. I won't be defeated by a Suzuki. That is for sure. The only thing that makes sense is that we lost sparks somewhere along the way. I'll grab that 12. really don't want to do this, but let's. Just lift the tank up and take a look. Make sure, I know that's plugged in. Can I get to a spark plug? Yeah. Oh, do I have a spark plug that'll fit that? Let's check, see if we got spark. Don't matter what kind of spark plug it is. We use one out of a Harley Sportster. Let's see if we're getting spark. I have a feeling like we're not getting spark. And I can't get this in the spot where it'll ground itself. Dang it. They really... Oh my goodness, come on now. I'm not down there. Can I see the electrode? Okay, that's grounded. I'll shut the lights out for a second in here, at least on this side of the shop. Get my head in there, make sure I'm getting spark. I'm a little afraid to do this. Let me make sure my fire extinguisher's charged. It is. Shut some lights off. Let's crank it over and see if we're getting spark.
Mayo hairline, where every scalp gets cleared for takeoff.
Dang it. All right. Hold on here. Gotta do something a little different. The goddamn clutch has to be pulled in on this because it's one of these new dum-dum systems. I can't stand them. And I can't reach and do that and watch the plug at the same time. I can maybe wrap this around here enough to...
I struggle with moderate obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA.
There we go.
The loud snoring,
That try.
and daytime fatigue.
All right.
There's nothing superhuman about the dog OSA.
I'll be down. It was getting spark, all right. It just wanted to piss me off and make me do that. Thanks, man. It's not my bike, though. It's customer's bike. It finally got enough fuel to the Carburetor. And that was the whole thing. This doesn't have a electronic fuel pump on it. It has a different system, okay? Needs vacuum to get fuel. You have to keep turning it over to build vacuum to get fuel so you can fire it. It had me thinking that it didn't have spark. So I literally pulled a plug wire off. Got an old spark plug that I had laying around. Decided to check the spark, and lo and behold, she decided she wanted to fire up because it definitely has spark. Bolt the seat back in. 12. That's not a 12. That's a 12. Okay, get the garage door back open. Let's fire it back up. Battery charger off. Get out of here. Try this again. See what we got. You literally just heard it run. Color me retarded on that. It literally just fired up. The only difference was gas tank was unbolted, which tells me maybe something in there ain't plugged in right. Unbolt the gas tank. Definitely getting spark. Battery's definitely friggin' weak. Put the charger back on it. Put power to it, see what it does. And it wants to go. Friggin' thing fired up just a second ago. Sucks. Quite sure I got it flooded at this point. Y'all just heard it run. Ain't ready to throw in the towel just yet. I heard the thing run. I know it will run. Might just have to come back to this in a little bit. No, it's getting spark. I know it's getting fuel because it fired up and ran. What the hell? Let's try. Nope. Oh, I can smell it. All right. Well, it is what it is. We're going to put the battery on a trickle. I don't miss messing with CV carbs, dude. I hate CV carbs. I do. Give me an S&S Super E. Give me a Mikuni HSR 42. I'll make it run like a champ. CVs suck. Which is what's going on here. The battery's about shot in this thing. It fired up to get enough vacuum to get the whole system to work. This has that stupid vacuum petcock system and a vacuum fuel pump. By the time it spins over enough to get it going, and on top of that, I just really pissed off the spark plugs by cranking the shit out of it. I had it running. Y'all heard it run. So I think at that note, we are going to turn the charger down to the 2 amp trickle. We're just going to let the battery charge. And I think we're going to call it a day. We'll revisit this later this evening off camera. Job's done. Carburetor's rebuilt. The bike fires up and runs. We're dealing with a shit battery and most likely probably the original plugs. Maybe we'll throw a set of plugs in it. Don't know. My job was to rebuild the carb and stop the leaks. I did that. And I'm most certain I definitely carboned the hell out of plugs with the amount of starting fluid I put down its gap. So close the garage back up. Take a chill pill. Getting ready, getting on about ready to fix dinner time. So, being as the hard work is already done, mainly need the battery to charge, need the plugs to dry out. If I got to replace plugs, I'll replace them. Yeah, you know what? It's a factory bike, and they do come lean from the factory. And the rebuild kit that I got came with a fatter primary jet, but the main jet did not have a size on it. The primary jet in the bike was a 27.5, and it came with a number 35 primary jet. I didn't want to put that fatter primary jet in it with a stock style air cleaner and a stock style exhaust. It's not my bike. All they wanted was to get it up and running, of which you just heard it run. It's just pissed off because it's probably going to need spark plugs too. Yeah, there's that. But if it were my bike, I would punch out the baffles. I would throw a K&N air filter, and I would put the fatter jet in it, and she'd run like a champ. But not my bike, so doing what they want me to do. And at that note, I will catch you guys later. I'm going to let that battery trickle charge. And, yeah, we'll revisit this evening, probably off camera. Like I said, I got another bike coming in this evening. It's kind of a wishy-washy. It's a modern fuel-injected sport bike. It's for a friend, a guy that rebuilt my bathroom. I know, dude. A guy that redid my bathroom for me. We kind of traded labor for labor. So I'm going to have to get on the internet and check a few things. I think he's probably just got a bad ground wire somewhere. For some reason, the bike's breaking up. But I told him I'd look at it and see what I could do with it. It's not my forte. As you guys know, I mainly work on metric cruisers, older metric cruisers that are carbureted and carbureted Harley Davidsons. So I told him I'd try, so that's what I'm doing. But before it gets here, I'm getting hungry. So I'm going to go get me something to eat. I'll catch you guys later, man. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming to hang out with me in my garage on a Saturday afternoon. I'm out.